We're joined from Beirut by strategic political analyst Abdullah Nehme. Mr. Abdullah, thank you so much for joining us on Qnews. And first off, during a press conference between Naguib Mikati and Ahmed al-Shara, Mikati stressed the need to control Syria's border to prevent smuggling. How do Mikati and al-Shara plan to address these border issues?
We see today the visit of Naguib Mikati to Syria, and especially following the election of President Joseph Aoun and the developments in Syria and the changes that took place regarding the fall of the previous Syrian regime. Lebanon and Syria today are seeing new presidents, Joseph Aoun and the leader Ahmed al-Shara. There were agreements between the previous regime in Lebanon who was following Iran and also the previous Syrian regime. Now this regime is gone, so new agreements are emerging between the new administration of President Aoun, with the different paths that he wants to take. We know the politics in Lebanon was before following Iran. Now Lebanon is following the Arab world policies again. So the agreements will change between Lebanon and Syria because the previous ones were only serving the Syrian interests more than Lebanon due to the Syrian Syrian-Iranian occupation of the Lebanese South. And now we see the visit of Prime Minister Mikati to Syria as a proof of the new Syria and new Lebanon will witness new respectful relations. The sovereignty of both countries will be respected. Strong ties will be in place between the Syrian and Lebanese administration. We know that the populations of Syria and Lebanon are highly tied and are tied by historical relations. So we see the visit of Prime Minister Mikati as a responsibility to organize and coordinate the borders between Syria and Lebanon.
Okay, so from a Syrian perspective, what steps did Ahmed al-Shara emphasize to ensure Syrian security and stability?
al-Shara stressed the sovereignty of Lebanon and Syria. At the meantime, al-Shara also spoke about the borders between the two countries and coordinating the security of Lebanon-Syria exit. Also coordinating the military leadership. We saw the director of the Lebanese intelligence and also the internal security director of Lebanon visiting Syria to coordinate all the security matters. And most importantly, the refugee issue. There are about 2 million Syrian population in Lebanon. They need arrangement to bring them back to Syria. And we also have Syrian prisoners that shall be transferred to the Syrian prisons. All these matters were discussed during today's visit between al-Shara and Mikati, who reiterated the matter of Lebanese prisoners held in Syrian prisons who are missing till today.
So, Sarah, we've witnessed a lot of Western and Arab envoys head to Damascus in the recent period. How does their presence reflect international perceptions of Syria's new administration?
Of course, Syria today is open to cooperate with the Arab world and the entire world on the international arena. Turkey today is embracing the Shara administration and providing a cover for him, and I think Shara exerted a lot of efforts to reach where he is now in Syria, and now it is not just up to Syria, to the international community, and the Arab community now is also working on restoring the Syrian stability. Humanitarian aid are being sent to Syria. We have seen the coordinations between Syria and the UAE and Saudi Arabia, and we saw the US delegation to Syria. We consider Syria out of the Iranian policy and back to follow the Arab joint policies again. Lebanon and Syria witnessed a diversity in sects, and there are historical ties connecting the two countries, playing an integral role in the Middle East. And now this openness by Syria and by the world to cooperate together, especially after what happened in Syria, because Syria was almost destroyed, especially after the fall of the previous regime. Now Syria is going back to follow the Arab joint policies, not the Turkish or the Iranian policies. Of course, we have good relations with Turkey as Lebanese and Syrians, but
now, sir, sorry for interrupting you here, but I would like to integrate Iraq into our conversation. How could Iraq's full securing of its border with Syria influence Syria's efforts to stabilize its borders with Lebanon and other neighbors?
بالطبع سوريا اليوم working with different factions, and the HTS is now bringing forces to work to form an army, a united Syrian army, combining all factions to have the right legitimacy and control the cross borders with Jordan, Iraq, Lebanon, and so on. And we have seen this discussion taking place during the Mikati visit to Syria to reinforce the security of both Lebanon and Syria and all the other neighboring countries. They are working to gather all the Syrian forces together and hold a reconciliation with the 80% of the military forces to bring a settlement on the table to form a new Syrian army. So I think they are working in the right direction. The international community is now participating in these discussions. Ahmed Shara is taking the right direction, and they are going forward with the right solution to make the right arrangement to protect the Syrian territories, especially after we've seen the discussions and talks between Qassam forces and Ahmed al-Shara regarding not dividing the Syrian lands. The region is witnessing demographic changes, that is being considered by President
Sorry
Trump.
for interrupting you, sir, due to shortage of time. That was strategic political analyst Abdullah Nehme. Thank you so much for your insights.